is Tony Beers for Toxic Pop News, and in our last video I did say that the next thing that I would talk about would be the Black Panther Golden Globe nomination and loss now. And I'll talk about that maybe some other time, maybe never, who knows. But change of plans here. So now we're going to be talking about the Spider-Man Far From Home trailer, which has got me excited, unlike the Captain Marvel trailer. But anyway, here we go. First we see Spider-Man, and he's at some kind of charity event, and he's with Aunt May. So if you haven't seen Spider-Man Homecoming, spoilers, at the very end of the movie they show that Aunt May actually knows that Peter Parker is Spider-Man. So I'm not sure how I feel about this. I mean, I'm fine, I guess. I just prefer if he'd kept that secret for a little while longer. Anyway, next thing we see that Happy Hogan is also part of this, and it looks like he is now hitting on Aunt May where Tony Stark was hitting on Aunt May before, which is, this is kind of weird. I don't know how I feel about this, but whatever. I mean, it's something new, and you know, they're trying to push the fact that, oh, she's a hot aunt, which, okay, I don't know, it's just something I'm not used to, we'll say that. But I'm fine with it. Peter Parker seems to be going on a school trip to Europe. She tells him to take his Spider-Man suit with him, and he says, no, I'm going to England or Europe. And he remembers what Tony Stark told him, you know, just be the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, not the world-saving Spider-Man. So that's why I assume he leaves his suit behind, but we all know the real reason is so that they can put him in a new suit so they can sell more toys or whatever. This is kind of interesting. He's taking his uncle's suitcase with him. That's Ben Parker. Kind of cute Easter egg. And he tells Mary Jane that she looks good in her dress, and she has this attitude like, is that all my value is that I look good? And I don't like this version of Mary Jane. First of all, she should be a redhead. Secondly, she has this attitude about her, and she says that she's joking, but I don't know. She had this attitude before in Homecoming, and I didn't really like it either. Who knows? And she calls him pretty too. And then the spy, Nick Fury, breaks into his hotel room, tells him that he needs him, which this is interesting. It's kind of like an Easter egg to the Ultimate Spider-Man, which honestly I never really saw that, but apparently Nick Fury is a big part of the Ultimate Spider-Man cartoon series, so that's kind of cool. He's taking him on a mission, and we see this new suit, which I kind of like. Instead of blue and red, it's black and red, which is kind of like his first appearance costume, so that's kind of cool, and he's using the web wings again. And here we see Nick Fury and Maria Hill, and they're fighting this rock-like monster. Now, Spider-Man, you first assume it's maybe Sandman, but I don't think they're going to do Sandman, you know, since they've already done him in the movies before, so I don't think they're going to do him again, and this is probably what they want Peter Parker to fight. I did a little bit of research, and I found out that there's some characters that this might be. I looked up on IMDb, and there's a character called Magnum or something like this in the movie, so this might be him. And I looked up on Comic Vine that there's a Moses Magnum who can make earthquakes or whatever, and this Magnum guy can control rocks, so that's who I'm assuming that it is. It's either that or this is an illusion by Mysterio, who is the main villain, so we'll find out. And hit Spider-Man swinging again. And now this character, which is a fiery character, I'm assuming is Molten Man, which is a Spider-Man villain, and I looked it up, and apparently he is the stepbrother to Liz Allen, and the Vulture, Michael Keaton, is going to be in this movie, so it'll be interesting to see that dynamic going on if this is Molten Man and he is Liz Allen's stepbrother, so that'll be interesting again, or it could just be an illusion by Mysterio. Who knows? We'll find out. And here is Spider-Man in this like all black costume, which people say resembles the Spider-Man Noir character. Yeah, it does. So I'm assuming that this is like a temporary costume. Like I showed you earlier that he left his Spider-Man costume behind, so maybe this is like a costume that he just gathered up from other items, or maybe this is a temporary thing that Nick Fury gives him. Who knows? Looks kind of cool. And at the end here you see another water monster. Now I want you to notice that the first one was rock, the second one was fire, and this one is water, so it seems to be having an elemental theme like earth, fire, and water. Now we haven't seen a wind monster, so who knows if we'll actually get that. Maybe we will, maybe we won't. And what villain would it be? Would it be Whirlwind, who's not really a Spider-Man villain, he's more like an Avengers villain? Again, this could be Hydro Man, which I would love to see. And I'd love to see action figures of all these characters. Hasbro is releasing new figures based on this movie, so hopefully we'll get half movie characters and half comic book characters. Now, I just recently got my Mysterio figure, so I'd love to see a Hydro Man figure. That would be cool. Now, again, like I was saying, who knows if this is actually Hydro Man, or is this just an illusion created by Mysterio? We don't know yet. Could be either one. Now, here's our first look at Mysterio. Looks good. Again, I'm kind of like upset that he's showing his face, though. I don't really like that. Yeah, I just hate it when they show heroes and villains out of their masks. It's just a pet peeve of mine. And we see him using his effects here. One of my friend Russell's, I believe he said his favorite Spider-Man villain is Mysterio. So here's Mysterio for you, Russell. I'm sure you're happy to see him. And I've been saying for a while that Mysterio is probably the most cinematic of Spider-Man villains. He actually did work on movies, and he knows movies, special effects, and he was a movie stuntman. Visually, possibilities are endless. You can do anything with Mysterio, which is why I'm surprised they never used him before. And I'm glad they're using him now, because they could do literally anything with Mysterio since his powers are illusions. Visually, this should be a really exciting movie. So this is Mysterio again fighting the water creature that is possibly Hydro Man. Looking really cool. And all his friends. the diversity friends. This always makes me laugh in movies nowadays, that they have to check every box of every ethnicity in the world and put them in these movies. It's actually kind of sad that they're forced to put these different diverse characters in there. And I'm not really liking this Flash Thompson, because he doesn't come off as a bully to me. He doesn't come off as threatening in any way to Peter Parker, so this is again kind of an odd choice. This part at least is true to the comics. The Flash was a fan of Spider-Man, and he's saying that he likes Spider-Man more than Mysterio, so they're sticking with the comics with that. And it's funny because he likes Spider-Man, but he hates Peter Parker. So we show here at the end, and he calls him a dickweed or whatever, which I'm surprised that they let slide in this trailer here. Usually trailers are more family friendly, more G, and as far as I knew, you couldn't say that in like G-rated movies. I don't have a problem with it in the movie itself, but in a trailer, it just seems odd, that's all. So anyway, that was our review of the first Spider-Man Far From Home trailer. I hope to see more trailers. I hope they don't give everything away. It looked really good. It looked a lot better than the last two Captain Marvel trailers. Didn't look as good as the Avengers Endgame trailer, which was excellent. This is somewhere in between, and I think this is the last Marvel movie of the year. I think they're just having those three, Captain Marvel's, Avengers Endgame, and Spider-Man Far From Home. So they kind of did the same thing last year, where I believe it was Black Panther, Avengers Infinity War, and Ant-Man and Wasp. So this is kind of like the Ant-Man and Wasp type movie, where it'll probably have more humor than the other two movies. So they're not all the same. So get your Captain Marvel, which will be, whatever, we'll find out, and you'll get your Avengers Endgame, which will be more serious, stakes are higher, and then you'll get your Spider-Man Far From Home movie, which will be a little bit lighter in tone, the stakes won't be as high, and it'll be just a nice fun movie. And I'm really looking forward to this trailer. Has got me excited. That's why I'm making this video, because I finally have something to talk about. I haven't made a video for a while, and I'm actually excited about this. So this looks like fun. Tell us what you think in the comments below. Who do you think these villains are? Do you think I'm right? Do you think I'm wrong? Do you think that they're all illusions of Mysterio? What I'm assuming is he's like pretending to be a good guy and fight these bad guys so that people will be on his side and they'll be against Spider-Man, thinking that he's turned to a bad guy or something like that. That's what I think is part of the plot anyway. So am I right about that? Am I wrong about that? Like I said, the only element we didn't see was wind. Do you think there will be a wind monster as well that he has to fight? And who do you think it will be? What villain do you think it will be? Will it be Whirlwind, like I said, or some other wind-themed villain? Or is it just going to be another Mysterio illusion? So tell us what you think in the comments below. My name is Tony Beers. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.